Hello everybody, welcome to PRICOM Design. Here we are at the workbench again, and this time what we're going to talk to you about is how to update the firmware on your Dream Player. We're going to use a Dream Player MK2 and probably drag out a Dream Player Lite as well, and show you some of the buttons and some of the LEDs and the way that you'd actually take a new firmware image from our website and place it on your SD card and then update the firmware, update the software that runs inside your Dream Player very quickly and easily. Just by downloading it from the website and putting it on the SD card. So let's check it out. Let me show you how it works. So what we're going to demonstrate is how to update the firmware in this Dream Player. This Dream Player is a Dream Player MK2. This Dream Player has 4 trigger inputs, so it's a little bit bigger than the Lite. First we're going to show the MK2, then we'll show the Lite. And what I have here is an 8 gig micro SD card. This has all my WAV files for playback as well as the config file. It also has the firmware file on here as well, which always ends in an extension of .pdi, which is a PRICOM design image file. So the PDI file has already been copied onto this SD card. So with the power off on the Dream Player, I'm going to insert the SD card into the slot. And when I turn on the power supply or plug the power supply in, what I want to do is hold this play button, the button on the board. And if I hold this button when I turn the power on, so first push the button, then turn the power on, it'll automatically load a new firmware image from the flash card, from the SD card, into the processor. So I'll show you how that works. I'm pushing the button, now I'm going to turn the power on. Notice how the green LED is going to blink 4 times. You don't need to hold the button the whole time, but you see the green and the red LEDs are blinking 4 times. From there, notice how the green LED went on, the red LED blinked really fast, and then that told me that it was programming the firmware. So I'll show it again just so everybody can see it. I'll turn my power off. I'm going to hold the button, turn the power on. Now I'm going to let go of the button. Both LEDs will blink 4 times to tell me it's in update mode. Next, the green light will go on, and the red LED will flash while it's updating the firmware. Now that it's done uploading the firmware, the green LED will blink 4 times. Now it's actually going to tell me what version of firmware is on there. So the green LED blinked 1 time, and the red LED blinks 6 times. So that means it's version 1.6. So that's what happened there. So I'll show that again just so you can see. So we'll load it again. So just hold the power button when you turn it on, when you put the power to it. Blinks 4 times. Red LED is going to blink very fast to show you it's programming it. Green LED blinks 4 times to tell you that it updated properly. After the 4th blink, the green LED is going to blink 1 time because it's version 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the red LED blinks 6 times to show me it was 1.6. Now it goes into normal Dream Player mode and everything operates as normal. Now if I turn the power on, I just keep turning the power on and off. If I turn the power on without holding the button, it's just going to boot like a normal Dream Player. It'll start up just like normal. And as a normal Dream Player would start up, the green LED comes on. The red LED blinks for the number of files that are on the SD card. It stops at 4 because in this case I've got 32 files on there. So I don't want to blink the LED 32 times. That would take too long. So that's the entire process for updating the firmware on the Dream Player MK2. I'm going to pop the SD card up. Now I'm going to switch to the Lite. One thing that's interesting is sometimes you might want to know what firmware you're currently running. So how you can do that quite easily is just pull the SD card out. So I've got the SD card out, there's no SD card in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the button, and while holding the button, turn the power on. And what that will do is it will actually go into firmware update mode, so we get those same 4 blinks. But since there's no firmware on the SD card, it's actually going to tell me what version it is. So the green LED is going to blink 1 time for version 1, and the red LED actually blinked 3 times to show me that it was version 1.3. So now we'll turn the power off, and I'm going to put the SD card in. The SD card has version 1.6 on it, so when I push the button this time and turn the power on, it'll actually go into upload mode where it pulls it off the SD card and programs the flash. So I'll push the button, we'll turn the power on, and just like before, it's going to blink both LEDs 4 times that tells me that I'm in firmware update mode. This time, however, it's going to notice the firmware on the SD card. It's going to turn the green LED on and then blink the red LED fast while it's loading it. Now it'll tell me the version. 4 green LED blinks means that it's programmed properly. 1.12345 6. So that's version 1.6. So now, just like I did before, I'll take that SD card out, I'll push the button, we'll turn the power on, and now, remember, 4 blinks to tell me that it's in firmware update mode. Next I should get 1 green LED blink for version 1, and then I should get 6 red LEDs for version 1.6. 3, 4, 5, 6. So that would be version 1.6 now. So that's all there is to it. I just updated this Dream Player from version 1.3 to version 1.6 simply by putting the firmware file onto the SD card and then putting the SD card into the Dream Player and powering it up while holding the button. And that's all there is to it, to upload a new firmware to the Dream Player. Hopefully you could see from that demonstration how easy and how quick it is to update the firmware. In our previous products, you actually had to use a specialized piece of software on the laptop or on your computer to load it through a special cable. And we've kind of updated a little bit to allow you to just do it by putting a file on the card. So thank you for joining, and check out our website at www.PRICOM.com for all the latest information as well as free firmware updates. And also keep an eye out for new products. We're always working on something new. Thanks for joining.